This kind of looks like one of those theory of evolution, natural selection kind of scenario here. Well, we are not going to be talking about any evolution of gimbals, okay? What you have today in front of you is a wide range of Moza gimbals, okay? Or the only thing is that you can select one of it, naturally select one of it, depending on your expertise levels. For example, this one is for an absolute beginner. This is the Moza Nano SE. And this one is the Moza Mini Mx. If you want to have a little more control, of course, it's a proper 3-axis gimbal. And this is if you are using both a mobile phone and also a camera for your digital content creation. Of course, then you can use this. This is the Moza Mini P, and this one is the most popular one in Pixel Village. This is the Air Cross 2, and we use it extensively in the studio for all our BTSs. And this is the hero. This is what we're going to be talking about today. This is the all-new Moza Air 2S. Okay, and since we're going to be talking about only this one, we may not require that. So let me take that out. Yup, all right. I think the magic worked again after a long time. All right, now this is the all-new Moza Air 2S. We happen to launch it in India through our humble, YouTube channel. Anyway, thank you, Moza, for allowing us to do that. Okay, now this one, of course, is an upgrade to the existing Moza Air 2. We had the Moza Air 2 in the studio, but we've been using the Air Cross extensively. Now, the Air 2S has lots of upgrades in comparison to the earlier one that it is replacing. Among the changes and the upgrades, the most important one to me is the battery life, okay? Now, this has an entirely new upgraded power system. This has a 3200 mAh battery, which can be charged in a flat 2 hours and give you a run time of about 20 hours, which is amazing. Besides that, it can also be charged using external, regular one of those battery packs too, which is amazing. Suppose if you get stuck in the middle of shoot without a power socket, well, you can charge this gimbal using your battery pack. That's one important thing. The next important one is the introduction of this micro wheel. Moza calls it the smart micro hand wheel. Smart because you can actually assign a certain function to this wheel. For example, currently it is the tilt, which is what is being assigned to it. You can assign focus to it, you can assign pan, roll, whatever that you want, you can assign that function to this micro wheel. The next one is an improved build quality. Now, improved build quality, I can actually feel it because we had the earlier one, the Moza Air 2 in the studio, and I can definitely feel that they have worked on the build quality for sure. And of course, and also the addition of lots of places where we can add a lot of accessories. Now, the most important one is this rosette. Okay, rosette is an industry standard grip. You can attach a magic arm to it, using this rosette. The name rosette is because of its particular way of the design. Okay, what else? I think I don't need to really show how to set up or balance, a gimbal, because by now everybody knows. We have done one very, very detailed video on 3-axis gimbals. I will add a link in the description and you can go there and watch. It's actually a lot of information is there in that video. Well, what else? It also has locks for all 3-axis. And yes, I forgot to mention, this has a Manfrotto quick release plate. So once you have mounted and balanced the camera, and if you want to quickly change the camera onto a tripod, well, if the tripod is a Manfrotto tripod, all you have to do is, let me switch this off, okay, and all you have to do is to just slide the camera out, mount it onto your tripod. Once you're done with it, you want to quickly come back here. You don't have to rebalance your gimbal. Slide this guy in. Okay, it has a hard stop. Okay, and you know exactly where you had balanced it, and it's more or less balanced. And I switch on. Voila. So that's a definite, plus as far as the Moza Air 2S goes. The Moza Air 2S also offers lots of possibilities to add accessories onto the gimbal by way of extending, using extension arms. So there are a couple of possibilities here. There is one at the bottom, there is one in the front, which I told you already. So what we're going to do is we're going to add an audio device. We got the brand new WE10 Pro from Mirfac. Okay, Mirfac is also a Moza company. So we will add an audio device. We will add a monitor for better viewing and framing, and we will add an LED light. What else? Also an arm, so that you can do that underslung shots very comfortably. Okay, so let me set it up. We take it out for a small shoot. Lockdown, so we can't really get out to do the kind of shoots that we would have loved to shoot. But yes, we will do a little bit of shoot and see what happens. And yeah, let's come back and then evaluate this updated new gimbal. Off to a small shoot. Pretty serious, isn't it? Well, this is now a fully decked up Moza Air 2S. I have added a field monitor. I've added a wireless microphone. This is the Mirfac WE10 Pro. Well, I have a mic here, all right? And of course, I've added a Godox small LED light as well. Also added an NT filter, a variable NT filter to my camera here. Absolutely necessary accessory when you are going out to shoot outdoors, all right? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to be the model, of course, and hand this guy over to the heavyweight of our studio, the man who is a gimbal expert. Aditya, over to you. So I'm going to be on the other side of the camera today. All right. Okay. Perfect. All right. So now the gimbal is in action, and the audio is coming through the lapel mic, the WE10 Pro. I'm going to be walking, and I'm going to turn around and talk to you and continue the walk. All right. So just come along with me. All right. Okay. COVID and lockdown. This is how it is. Otherwise, it's kind of a bustling kind of a place. Now it's completely empty. People have deserted most of the stores. Well, but hopefully they will all come back once the COVID scare ends. All right, let's take a kind of a short walk. Okay, I'm trying to do some very low angle shot. It's called the mouse eye view, for which I have to kind of reposition the monitor, so you will see how helpful it is. Now, typically when you do this kind of a shot using just the camera, and if you have to readjust the rear LCD, you actually lose the balance of the gimbal. You'll have to rebalance if you make any changes to the camera. So here in this case, Two advantages. One, you don't have to rebalance your camera. Second, you get a much better, larger view using this field monitor. We're using a Liliput. Okay, let's try that. Okay, that's a perfect setup. All right, are you ready? And yes, this gimbal also can do that amazing 360 inception kind of a roll. Yes. Thank you, Aditya. I'm sure it was kind of back-breaking. Well, all right, let me switch this guy off. All right, in my personal opinion, the 2S is definitely an improvement from the earlier Moza Air 2. Build quality, of course, I told you about the battery, and lots of ergonomics have actually made this a much better, more desirable product. But the 3-axis gimbals, let me tell you, that is constantly getting upgraded, okay? The origin or the objective is to get a nicely stabilized image, but I've seen that most camera gimbals, the 3-axis gimbals, come with its own unexplainable quirks, okay? And it happens all of a sudden. It kind of surprises you. Things like it suddenly loses its, the balance, or it starts kind of tilting to one side, one direction. You know, there are lots of things. Even if you take full precautions, even if the firmware is the latest and the camera is completely compatible and stuff, it still at times kind of causes an unexplained kind of, I will not call it an error, but it's a quirkiness which these devices have. But I suppose you have to live with it. Well, there are a couple of things that I'd like to definitely kind of caution you, is that whenever you are using this eye focus, the focus assist, make sure that you are not using it on an AF lens, okay? Well, I have my own reasons. If you want to use it, by all means, please go ahead and use it, but I'll tell you my reason. This is primarily made as a still photography camera. In a still photography camera lens, the objective is to get to a focus point as fast as possible, as quick as possible. And that travel distance between, let's say, the closest focusing point and to the infinity is very short. It's called the focus throw is very short. Whereas dedicated filming lenses like this one is a Samyang VDSLR lens, the infinity to the close distance focusing is almost 120 degrees in this lens. In industry standard cinema lenses, it's almost 180 degree plus. So you will really get lots of time to, work with this gear and shift your focus. In these kind of lenses, because that focus throw is very short, you can miss your focus, especially if you are also moving with the camera. So allow the camera to do that job of, following the focus. That's why most of the people prefer a good brand with a good lens, with good auto follow focus capability. And also, whenever you are using the eye focus on an autofocus lens, make sure, even if there is a grip on the lens, make sure that you use this belt, this assist belt, which is pitch matched for the gear, okay? That's very, very important. Don't try and run it straight onto the lens because it runs, okay? You are definitely going to spoil the lens focus grip for sure. Well, so that's something which I definitely would like to, give as a piece of advice. Again, use the gimbal for what it is made for. It is a camera stabilizer, correct? Don't expect the gimbal to do everything that you are supposed to do. If you want to set the camera, set it in the camera, okay? This is my old way of thinking. avoid setting the camera using the gimbal. Use the gimbal for what it is made for. Yes, well, you can use, if push come to shove, use the smart wheel for, for your pan, tilt, roll kind of functions, but I don't think it's a good idea to use this for pulling focus. Like I said, if you must have it, of course, it is there for you to have. Another important or interesting, rather, feature is the app, the Moza Master App, using which you can remotely control the gimbal. Now here, I'm trying to remotely control the roll, correct? I'm going to control the pan, all right, and also the tilt. And in one click, it also goes and recenters. This is one interesting feature if the camera is in, let's say, in a height where you cannot really reach for it. You can do this. That's one option. Of course, you have to do a lot of guessing, but that's one option. The second option is called the mimic function. Well, basically, the camera will follow whatever action that you do with the mobile phone in all three axes, or you can assign it to just only one axis, and you can do that. So that's something which is very interesting. So see, you can also increase the speed. There is a sensitivity setting. Once you do that sensitivity setting, even that movement become quick or slow. This is very interesting. I'm not quite sure whether you will want to really do it. I don't know how many times you may do it at all, but like I said, in case if you want to, it's available for you to use. Another interesting one is called the creative video, where if you want to track, all right, you remember the mobile gimbals, you have an auto tracking available in the Moza Mini app. Similarly, that feature is available here as well. All you have to do is to mount this guy, the mobile phone with the app running, and mount it onto the hot shoe. Select your object that you want to track, and the gimbal will start tracking that object or subject seamlessly. So these are very interesting features that you have in the new Moza Air 2S. Besides all this, the new Air 2S is also priced very reasonably and also has great support. Now, a product like this will definitely require support because you are going to run with it. You're going to need, at some point, you might require some kind of service. So go to somebody who is trusted for their after-sales service, and Moza has it, and I personally know about it. So that is my impression about the all-new Moza Air 2S, and that's pretty much sums up what I have to say about this gimbal. And oh yes, we have to now announce the giveaway of the Moza Nano SE. The video was released on the 25th of April. It is long overdue, so here it goes. We received tons of comments, and I personally went through every comment here. It's about close to 1,000 comments, and of course there were a lot of spams as well. And I have narrowed down to a comment from this person who wrote to me in his local language because he didn't know English. He didn't even ask for the giveaway, but the message was pretty interesting and touching too. So the Moza Nano SE goes to ATN Mate. So here we are letting you know that you have won the Moza Nano SE. Reply to us and we'll make sure that you receive the product. It'll be delivered to your home. If you are interested in learning photography, please head over to pixelvillage.com. We have a set of fantastic photography teachers there taking classes for you. They're all recorded sessions. You can watch the bouquet of offering, and if you like it, you can subscribe. Bye for now.